Now I have the privilege of introducing our third Thursday artist, Rajat. He is over 8,000 miles away in New Delhi, India. I first saw his an online presentation with Daniel Smith episode that he was doing, and I was mesmerized by the use of all the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks that he holds in his hands. And then after I got over that, then I started watching how he makes these beautiful textures and his use of colors. And I was just in awe. But I'm not the only one, because he is also a leader in India for the Fabriano papers from Italy. And of course, he is a Daniel Smith Global Ambassador, just naming a few of other folks. Now, his fascination with painting started when he was 12, and his love and respect for nature is reflected in his work as he beautifully conveys nature, landscapes, and his environment. I think you're going to be drawn into his style, his creation of texture, and his color. But let's get started, because I don't want you to miss any more of this experience. Don't forget, if you have any questions, go down to the Q&A box and ask those questions, and I will be sharing those with Rajat. Rajat, what do you have in store for us today?
First of all, good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me in this such a prestigious platform. I'm Rajat. I'm from Delhi, New Delhi, India. Well, I did some textural birds. Some birds. These are noisy neighbors, because I kept this name because the neighbors, if it is a noisy, it's a very disturbing, isn't it? But if a bird chirps, that's a very soothing. So that's why I call my series of birds called Noisy Neighbors. So these are few birds which I have done. I'm just showing you. These all paintings is done with the sticks, let me tell you. These are done with the sticks. Daniel Smith sticks, colors. And I like the rhythm of a bird. It's not the static, some movement, some rhythm is there. So like that way. And I'm very, very fond of textures. So if I bring it closer, you can see the texture of water, texture of the feather of a bird. So like, I'm very fond of that. Similarly, I look for, textures like this. You can see that. I don't use masking fluid, and these are all paper white, which I kept. And these are all transparent watercolors. It's not opaque, or I haven't used anywhere gouache or something. These are all transparent watercolors. So like this. I did few like this also. These are all transparent watercolors. So like this, like this. Of course, some still life. So every painting, you will get to see some amount of textures which I've played with, because I'm very, very fond of creating textures in a paper.
And you happen to be very good at it too.
Even I choose my subject based on that. This is a rooftop. You can see that. Even here also a good amount of the terracotta textures are there. Also like this. This particular painting, I kept it as a Mr. Cinderella. It's not Miss Cinderella. So it's a, so I've chosen this. So here also a lot of textural work which you can see them. Right. Like this, it goes on and on.
So like that last one, how long did that take to paint that one with all of that texture?
Around 8 days. Around 8 days.
Okay.
7 to 8 days it takes. Even this is also. My subjects are very little rare than normally you'll get to see, because uh, it's a naughty ring, the name of this particular painting. It's like it's not. I'm not looking up always to choose my subject. At times I look down also, and that's how I get to see some brilliant subjects. So that's how I'm like. And this is the last one which I'm going to show. This is my car got stuck in a muddy road, so there was a good tire marks, so which I painted like. All right. So there.
Okay, so what have you got for us tonight to share?
Yes. So tonight I'm going to do this. It's an African macaw, blue macaw. It has got a very good rhythm and good colors, vibrant colors are there. So I'll be painting with this. So let me know when I'm going to start so that I'm
Okay,
going
hey, I'm ready.
Okay, you're done? Okay, I'll
I've
just
been waiting a long time for this.
Okay, I'll switch my camera to the overhead. Just give me
Okay.
1 minute time. Yeah, just 1 minute time. Please let me know. Is it okay?
I think so. Is that the size of the paper that you'll be using?
Just a sec. Yeah, that's the size of my.
Maybe go down. We see a lot of the stand. So
Okay.
maybe,
I'll just bring it up.
yes, okay. Oh no, I meant there you go. Perfect. Yeah, there we go. Let's go there.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
I need to reverse the camera. So
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Thank you, Ron.
So, is it okay now?
no, need to reverse the camera. It's upside down to us right now. So you have to turn the camera the other way.
Okay, just a second. I'm sorry, I'll be taking another 1 minute time to do that.
Oh, that's too much. Oh,
Is it?
yeah, you turned it all the way back. So turn it and stop right there. That looks
Is
good.
it okay?
Yes. Does that look good, Ron?
Ron, is it okay?
Pretty good. I
Yep.
think I'd leave it right there and oops. Yeah, let's let go of it. Let's see how it looks.
Should I fix it?
No, take your hand off. We'll see how it looks.
Okay.
Just a second.
There you go. Oh,
Is it fine?
Turn the right side
Okay.
down. Right side down a little bit of the pad. There you go. A little more. Right there is perfect. You got it.
Okay. So today I'll be using the Hanmule paper. This is 300 GSM. This is a rough texture, which normally I use then. And as I showed you my subjects will be this. This is the bird. As far as the brushes are concerned, I use Da Vinci brushes. These are the sets which I have got, the Da Vinci. So I'll be using this Da Vinci sets of brushes. And certainly, as far as the colors are concerned, I'll be using the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks. So I have chosen these 14 colors for the time being. And I do have sets of another sets of 100 colors
Oh my goodness.
like this way. Yeah. So because I predominantly use the sticks, so that's why I kept it like this. This is a thermocol made, and I make there's a groove, so I can easily pick it and put it back. So like that.
Hmm.
So I'll start my drawing. So this is a paper. Let me read out the name of the colors. This is iridescent electric blue. This is cerulean blue. This is lavender. Okay, Prussian blue. Okay, cobalt blue. French ultramarine blue. And this is ultramarine blue. So these are the blue shades which I'm going to use, and some different shades like Hansa yellow medium, soda light genuine, lunar black, yellow ochre, buff titanium.
Hmm.
This is rich green gold, and this is Promenade genuine. So these are the colors I'll be using
And
for
it looks like all of those sticks are Daniel Smith colors, correct?
Yes, these are all Daniel Smith colors.
Okay. And one of our members wanted to know if you use the rough textured paper because that's better for the sticks, or is that just a preference?
It is actually, I use the rough textures paper because of the tape. Rough surface gives me create good textures. That's the reason I always use the rough textures.
Have you tried the watercolor sticks on the smooth, on the fine
Yeah,
texture paper? Okay.
yeah, of course I
Uh-huh.
did. Of course I
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
But the result which I got is better than this on a rough rather than a smooth.
Yeah. Now it looks like you've written something around the border of your paper, or what is that? Is that writing around the edge of, does that say chamomile? Oh, okay. I see what it is. So you don't use grid lines or anything as you're sketching your subject?
No, I don't. And I try not to use eraser although I do keep eraser next to me, but I try not to because it disturbs the surface of the paper, the
Right.
textures of the paper. Yeah, so I try not to use them. This is a very dynamic angle. If you see that particular this, it's a very dynamic. It's not a very easy angle. It's a very
Yeah, no,
dynamic
it's a
angle.
difficult angle. Could
It
you
is.
put the picture on top of where your brushes are so folks can kind of see it as you're sketching it? Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Like here?
Yeah,
Is it
that'd be
okay?
great.
Okay.
Yes, perfect.
And I take little time to draw because I strongly believe drawing is the plinth, is the main structure of a painting.
Mhm.
So if drawing goes wrong, however good color, good paper we are using, everything go haywire.
Now, did you receive formal training as an artist?
Yes, I did my graduation in from there is a place called Calcutta in India. I did my
Mhm.
graduation from there, but I did my graduation in commercial art, and I was working as an in advertising agency for 27 years. And on 2011, I quit my job and I got into the full-time artist, watercolor.
Wow.
So although I am painting, doing watercolor more than 40, 45 years,
Hmm.
it's been a long journey for me.
Well, you started very young and went into a student academy or student, I guess, exhibitions. I saw in your bio. That was very interesting.
Right, right. Believe you me, that time, when I started, 80s, that time, especially in India, that time, uh, art as a subject, it was like a crime. People
Mm.
used to only consider, either an engineer or a doctor, but you are an artist. No one used to put, like, nowadays, awareness has gone up. So people are much more aware of, okay, an artist can do a lot of things, but that time it was much less. So
Right. What kind of, are you using a hard or soft leaded pencil there?
this is a soft leaded HB pencil which I'm using
Hmm. Okay.
just to uh, I can see the drawing. That's the reason, and I'm doing little light so that it should not disturb me.
Hmm.
So mostly what happened, I'll do it while using the sticks. I use this with the sticks for the background. Sometimes I do use uh, my palette.
Okay.
Otherwise, mixing the colors from one stick to the other sticks, I do with this one. So while I'm doing this, but while doing the background, that time because the background require a flatter surface mostly to just enhance this particular bird. So there I'll be using some of the help of a palette. Otherwise, I don't use palette.
Hmm. Right.
So I'm more or less done with the drawing. You can see that. And rest of the
Now, do you have these birds in India or are these like in a zoo or?
no, we'll get to see in zoo mostly. So otherwise, uh, these birds we don't get to see normally here and there.
Yeah.
So I'll be using this is a series of Dartana, Da Vinci's Dartana spin. This is
Hmm.
a number 4. Number 4 is the uh, size of the brush. So here now I think I have to keep it like this
Okay.
because is it okay? Uh, or else, well, what is it? Yeah, I can keep it like this also. So now I need to put that because as I told you that this is how I keep my, and of course there's a,
This is just amazing. So now, do you have an order in which you put the sticks in your
absolutely,
fingers?
yeah, there is a order. There is
Oh,
a order.
okay. I was
Yeah,
just guessing.
yeah, no, you are right. There is an order. Uh, So like there are 14 sticks of there.
Wow.
So normally what happened, I mix the colors from each sticks to the others from here on. And once it's done, so I just wipe it off.
Oh,
And this is a natural sponge which I use. This is a sea sponge, uh, and so I clean it with this. So like this. So I'm just starting with this.
okay, here we go.
Yes.
Now, you know, when we were watching the snippets of the demos for the
Yeah.
convention, you know, several
Yes.
folks mentioned layering. Is that something you do as you're working with the watercolor sticks? Do you go back and layer your colors as
Yes.
well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 It requires a lot of layering because
Mhm.
that's the reason it takes longer time. Because
Mhm.
I take my painting takes, at times it is 5 days, 4 days, 6 days consecutive. Like I work like that way.
That was 5 colors. Not that I'm counting.
No, no.
Do your fingers ever get tired holding on to those
Not
sticks?
at least 6 to 7 hours. It's okay.
Uh,
Then after that, yeah, that time after that I take rest. So otherwise, it's okay with me. It's become a habit of mine. So,
So, before you start your painting, do you
mhm.
kind of experiment with your color sticks to see which ones you're gonna use for that painting? Or do you just
Yeah,
kind of,
that I did in the beginning. Beginning in the sense before it's been many years back. Once I started doing this stick job, I
mm-hmm,
did that. But nowadays I don't because I know which color, how the color is going to react with me, which
gotcha.
color I'll be using. Yeah. So it's earlier in the beginning, of course, I did it, like the thing which you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure if you try once, all of you, you will have you will enjoy this.
Well, in full transparency, I do have one Daniel Smith watercolor stick, but it's burnt sienna, and I use it with a nutmeg grater to make textures for my sand and stuff. But that's all
I
I've
see.
used it for. So I need to experiment, don't I?
I'm sure because that's why I'm saying that if you haven't, but once you do that, you'll be really hooked into.
Now, how did you get into what made you come up with the idea to, oh, I'm going to try watercolor sticks instead of my watercolor tubes?
It was initially when I saw this thing. Initially, even I had a couple of sticks with me, but I never used to use them. Crimson, then vermilion, and there are few colors I had. Then one day I just thought, let me try out with this, and I started traveling a lot. So because of the travel, so
Mhm.
if you are traveling, so there you will find the difference, the benefit of sticks. Because if you are traveling from point A to point B, if you are traveling by air, by the time you reach to some places, you will open the tube and half the color will pop out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So that, because this is so convenient. You put it in your pocket, even the 20 sticks in your pocket and go in your purse and all these things. So that's how I found it is much more. It's really easy to go for a plain air. So
So you started using them with your travels, and then you just decided that you liked that better,
absolutely.
just
Yes,
painting at home instead of using your wet paint. Your
absolutely.
okay,
Right. It has started with the travel. So
yeah.
that was the main, yeah. And while doing a bird, I mean, for me, I mean, that's how I have seen all the masters in your group. There are so many big name there. I know them. They don't know me, but I know them very well. I mean, they are really renowned artists all over the world. People know them. So
I
for
think I
me, I
forgot to
mean,
go ahead.
sorry, no. You say what you're saying?
Oh, I forgot to mention to everyone that you were actually one of our international, well, you are our only international basic Florida Watercolor Society member.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to be there.
And
And
I think you,
I'm
go
sure people will agree that, while doing a bird, mostly subject as a bird, the softness is huge required. It's highly required because once it's get harder, then so we try not to do this as soft as possible. So there, Hannibal paper, of course, uh, it helps a lot.
Mhm. So when you had your watercolor sticks in the little white box with the holes in it, and you leave those out, do they ever crack or dry out or anything?
That's the best part. It dries so fast. So I mean, I just put a cover on top of that, another whole thermocol, something like that, and it stays as it is.
Okay. But the sticks never crack or break or anything, right?
No, no, I try not to. I take care of because I'm very particular about this thing. So it should not, because I carry it. It is always be with me. It's never goes to cabin baggage or something like that. I
Yeah.
always hand carry them.
Okay,
So I had
gotcha.
to many time I had to tell them, the airport authority what is, because they first, when they get to see this thing, first question, what are these?
Hmm.
Because they are not, there are many artists they are not aware of. So so airport authority is okay.
Right. Now, where did you get your holder for all those watercolor sticks?
See, this is earlier I had an wooden one which was really heavy.
Uh-huh.
So I was looking for. So this is, if you notice that, people come for a blood check and all this thing at home, they take this thing in a hospital, you will get to see that. This sort of,
Oh,
they put the small syringes, ampule inside this. So when I saw that, I thought, why can't I use them into my
So it's from the medical world, huh?
yes, yes,
Now,
yes,
did it come with a
precisely.
cover on it then, I'm assuming?
No, 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 no.
No, no
They
cover.
don't come up with a no cover.
Mhm.
As we all know that the first layer, it takes little time because in watercolor, the first layer is the most complicated one.
That's true. That's true. So, what is your weather like in India? Here in Florida, it's very humid most of the time, hot and humid.
Oh, India is always we have only two seasons, summer and winter. So we don't have anything else. At times it rains, but it never on time. So here also it is very dry. But the place where I am living, Delhi is very dry, but the other part of the India is at this moment because here the temperature is 36 now Celsius.
36. Okay.
Yeah,
We go by
it's
Fahrenheit, so let me see. What is oh, so it's like 96 degrees Fahrenheit there. Okay.
that's right.
Yeah. I know when I saw you demonstrating for Daniel Smith, I kept thinking, you are
Right,
contaminating those sticks.
that's true. I do contaminate, but later on I just clean it up. So then that time it will be
And it works
absolutely
for
okay.
you.
Yeah, that it will certainly it works for me.
So you're using a 4 round, you said. Oh, there you go with what is that brush now?
This is I don't remember the name of this brush because this has got so
Oh,
mostly I use this brush into while doing that the feather and the
mhm.
wood textures.
To get
So
that
it
scratchy.
gives yeah.
Yeah. So we have a question. Do you ever wet your paper first?
No, I never.
So you always start on dry. And then
I
the
always start with a dry paper only.
okay. And then the next question is, how do you make sure not to create a hard, dry edge? Because you have a lot of softness in your feathers.
Yes. So still, it's these are dry. These are wet. My paper is wet. So I try to do this thing. That's why I said in the first layer, one need to be little careful about putting the colors. So that's how I uh, try not to. Just a second.
Make everything hard there, huh?
Yeah, it should
Um,
not get hard.
So you said your paper is still kind of damp, because I was thinking with it being dry there, would it dry
No,
the
it is
paper
still.
quicker?
No, it is still. It is. Yeah, it is still damp.
And I guess I should mention that it's also 4 a.m. over there, but he did assure me that he's already had his coffee, so.
Yeah, yeah. So now it is 4:30. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And Monica has asked, when you're working on a full-size paper, do
Yeah.
you stretch it? Do you stretch your paper?
Good question, Monica. Yes, I do. Of course, I do, because it should not get wobble. Then you will one face a lot of problem.
Mhm.
So of course, I do.
Didn't like that stroke. Okay.
I have come across many people confused with the sticks with a crayon.
Oh,
And end of the day, they rub into the paper, and the paper they destroy the paper because the surface get torn.
mm-hmm. Hmm. So when you were showing your paintings at the beginning, and
Yeah.
the lady with the red mask from the Venetian
Yes,
carnival,
yes,
and
yeah.
I saw all the reds and the shades and I thought, well, how did you do that? But I can kind of see now you have all of these blues, and you're just combining the different blues is creating so many variations of the color. It's just beautiful how you do that.
Well, it's like I must say, if you start doing again, this is also going to be easier for you. It's just a practice, like I must say. It's nothing rocket science. I'm sure everybody can do
Oh, I was thinking that for me, it was going to be like being in chemistry class.
that.
It looks very complicated and hard. That'll be one of my questions when I see folks at the convention. Now, have you tried the watercolor sticks yet? I want to see how many folks are going to experiment with this, and that'll be interesting to discover.
I think this is one of the greatest invention by Daniel Smith for me. I mean, if you ask me, and that's what I tell everybody, like wherever I go. So
Mhm.
I think because I predominantly use, but it doesn't mean that I don't use the tube. I do use tubes, but
Mhm.
mostly, most of my paintings are done with uh, sticks only. By the way, just to let you know that to complete this, had I do this thing into my own style, it will take at least 3 to 4 days to complete.
Your strokes are so delicate.
Thank you.
Now, is that your go-to brush that you use, that brush in that size?
This is the Dartana brush which I'm using. So now this place is too much wet. So I'm waiting for this area to get little dry. So by the time I was doing the big area.
Oh, okay. So we have Lori asked a very good question here. She said, do the stick colors have similar properties to the same color in the tube, such as their ability for staining or transparency?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But only thing is that the sticks are, high pigmented. It's a dry and it's a very hard. So one submission will be not to rub the sticks in a paper because there could be a damage of a paper. You never know if your surface is wet, suppose, and if you rub it, there could be 100% chance to get damage. You can damage your paper.
Mhm. So are there any binders in the sticks?
There is a binder, of course, but
Okay,
only
I
thing
was
is
thinking.
it is dried.
Mhm. So do they have a opera in Daniel Smith sticks, I wonder? Are you familiar with that color opera?
Yeah, they do. They do.
They do that?
Some,
Okay.
yeah, they do. Yeah.
That's kind of
So
favorite color down here in Florida.
yes, it is. It's a beautiful color. Actually, this I love these two colors specifically. I mean, whether I should use or not, I don't see. One is Luna Black. I love that
Yep.
Luna Black
Mm-hmm.
and the buff titanium. This is a buff titanium.
Oh,
I love
buff.
this
Yeah.
color. This is a rare. It's a rare shade they have come up with. So beautiful effect.
Now the
And
buff
Luna Black,
titanium, isn't that opaque, an opaque color?
it is an opaque color.
Yeah.
As you must have seen that I have used buff titanium, but not in a opaque way. I have used them in a transparent way. It is 100% up to you how you're going to use the uh, colors into in the application of the color, how you're going to use them.
Right.
Since I'm doing the eyes, I've changed the brush. I hope people are not getting friends are not getting bored.
Oh, no, it's mesmerizing watching you. And it's I remember as a kid, I lived near one of my girlfriend's father was an artist. And I would
Okay.
just be just so impressed with how that white sheet of paper and then the painting just would come out of that paper. And that's what it's kind of taken me back to that, just watching this. This is beautiful. Oh,
So this can only happen with a textured rough surface. If your surface is smooth, you cannot create this texture. Like you take the color, now dab it, then put your finger like this, and if you do like this, now look at this texture comes because
uh,
it rubs the surface of a paper and it creates the texture. This can only happen with a textured paper. This you cannot do this thing. If I do this, now you can see the textures, how smooth textures are coming up.
mm-hmm. Hmm.
It will give you that dry brush effect.
Now that I am going to try. Wow. Now, did you kind of
Yeah.
just create your own style as far as how you make your textures, or was that something you were taught in school?
Practically in school and a college, they don't teach
Mm-hmm.
this thing. This is over the period you experience yourself, and that's how you can create your own.
Yeah.
And I think it happens with every. It's not only in India, but I guess it's happening with every part of the world. So the more you practice, the more you create your own, and that's how you can create your own path.
Right. Yeah.
The basic concept is how you are going to add value to your, painting, keeping uh, the strategy in the proper way, the way the watercolor has been done. Now this part of the paper is very wet. So mostly which paper do you use while painting? So like me, I always either Ash or Bahong or Anamuled. These are the three papers I mostly use. How about you?
Um, I'm pretty much a arches kind of girl.
Okay.
But I've got some Fabriano and I've got some um let's see, what is it that I buy at Cheap Joe's? I can't think of what it is now. But I've tried some others. Um,
Fabriano Artistico, I guess we are using.
yeah. And I know a lot of folks, so we use UPO's kind of a fun thing that some folks use around here. And
Yes, yes. I mean, that's for the abstract painting mostly. I mean, that's good for the abstract, if I'm not mistaken. Is that
mhm.
so?
Yeah, it's good for abstract, but I know some folks that can do more detail. Not as detailed as this though, because of course it's not made for that. Yeah. Janine has commented that your painting is incredible, and I think a lot of folks would agree with that now. This is
Thank
just,
you.
and I mean, it's been so much fun watching, your first code and then how you have built it up. It's
Thank you.
just been,
Thank you.
you know.
I'm so happy to be with you people today. Believe you me, I'm much happier than you guys.
We're pretty
Believe
happy
you me.
here too. I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
I mean, this is just such a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to see someone from the other side of the world and to see you doing this amazing techniques in this style and using the watercolor sticks. I've never seen anything like this before. So I think that's something very
Thank you.
unique here. Yeah, so we were talking earlier and you said on your bucket list is to come to the United States. So
Of course,
now,
of course.
wait, what are you doing now? Was that
I
what
just,
you Yes.
this is a spray. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
just a spray. I just sprayed little bit to make it little more moisture. And now these lines are too much defined. So I wanted to make it little bit blur.
Okay.
And then I will work on that.
Okay. I didn't know if it was getting too dry for you there or what.
Yeah, so now it was too dry. So I wanted to make it little wet. So now, so that it will get little smudge. So I don't want too hard line to be.
Oh, his shoulder's starting to really pop out there now. He
Yeah,
does
because
have
of this
attitude.
headlight.
Yeah.
You are saying something about the bucket list.
Oh, yes, that you wanted to come to the United States. And I was
Of
saying that,
course,
yeah, that you have to do that. I'm looking forward to that.
of course. I'm also very eagerly waiting. So now I think this is the time to cross the sea.
That's right. Yeah. And Bobbin says this is such an informative and mesmerizing demonstration. Thank
Oh,
you.
untouched. Thank you. Nowadays we get, luminescent colors, then textural watercolors. Not a lot of thing was there. I'm just sharing with you one incident which happened in early 80s when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in, outdoor. I was doing a plein air under a tree. I was sitting and I was making a painting. Suddenly, something miraculous thing happened. Like there was, ant
Uh-huh.
when they lay eggs, they put the like, this is suppose a leaf. They put the eggs inside the leaves, and they put another leaf. So both the leaves are covered, and inside the ants they lay eggs there. And what happened? Some because of the wind or something, it fell down, and it
Oh,
fell down, and under the tree I was painting. So I got little annoyed, like something, and it looks like rice, cooked rice.
huh.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether you have seen ant's egg or not. It
I
is
have
just
never
like a,
seen
yeah. So it is just like a cooked rice. I was wondering, I said, what the hell is this? Then I started noticing it has started cracking the colors, which is nowadays there. I don't know which technology these people are using, but I've shared with John this particular story. He was also surprised to hear that. I said, yeah, John Cogley, that CEO of Daniel Smith. I just told him, John, this is what happened once. So he says, wow, that I never heard. I said, yeah, if you get to see anywhere egg of an ant, so it cracks the color. Some chemicals are there. So because of that chemical, the color
Yeah.
cracks. Yeah.
Isn't
And
that
it happened with
interesting?
me. It is
Wow.
an interesting, I mean, so initially I was a little upset about, this thing had fallen from where I was a little annoyed. Then later on I found, wow, that's something very interesting thing happened. So it is good lesson for, you know,
Yeah. That's very interesting how that happened. And I've never seen that, but you definitely are a nature lover to be out
yeah,
there.
yeah. I do, well, earlier I used to make landscape like anything because people are aware of me because of the landscape only. I used to make painting so much, landscape,
Hmm.
outdoor painting. And so later part, okay, I started doing this part, different subjects. But So I'll just
Yeah.
now do the little background colors. So I have to remove that image and I'll just take that palette now.
Okay. Yeah, Janie says you don't need to add much background. It's great just with the plain white. It's beautiful as it is.
Is it okay? I'm pretty
Oh,
comfortable.
no,
So
I mean, that was just a comment she made. Of course, it's your painting. You do whatever you would like, you know. I'd love
no,
to
I
see
mean,
you
if it
do the
is,
background too, but it's just gorgeous. One of our folks has asked, do you take your photos? They're just they love the angle of the photo there of the bird. And
I
then
do take. Yes, yes,
yes.
I do take. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I do take uh, because the bird, every bird looks good. Let me tell you. But
Oh,
if
yeah.
you start looking the value, then you will get to see. Okay, you define. Okay, this angle is better than that. That angle is better than this. So that's how. So of course I choose that way.
Now, do you
Another
have
thing I
a
must
camera or
let
do
you
you use
know,
your do you have a camera
I
or do
do
you
have
use
that.
your
Yeah.
phone?
I use my phone as well as my camera too.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
Another thing I
And
must let you know that because uh, all good-looking birds are male, you know.
you did have to mention that, didn't you?
Yeah, it is. I'm not. This is
It is a
all
fact. You're
good-looking
right.
bird. Yeah, it is a fact.
It is a fact.
Unlike yeah, so all good-looking birds are male. Female birds are not so good-looking.
Yeah. So one of our members also wanted to know, do you use the color wheel to select your color combinations?
Do I use? Come again, please.
Do you use the color wheel?
No. See, now it is more than 40 years. I mean, now it is there in my mind. Okay,
Okay,
I know
yeah,
this is this color. Yeah, so
yeah,
it was initially, of course, I did. Of
yeah,
course, I did. But now it is not required anymore.
yeah,
Okay, you understand. After a certain time, you know. Okay, this will happen like that. That will happen like this. So you,
yeah, right. You know, this is just so awesome that you're getting up this early in the morning to share this with us. And
thank
this
you.
is just
So
beautiful. Now, what kind of brush is that one? Is that natural or
this is
synthetic?
Casanio. Yeah, a natural brush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Da Vinci natural Casanio
Okay.
is the brush. Yeah.
And Catherine is saying this is such an awesome demo, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks again. I think I'm more or less. I'm not putting background. So as you said, I mean, even I wanted to keep it quiet. So I'll remove that. The mask.
Okay.
Just a sec. Now I'm putting this. The only thing now I need to. Okay, I forgot to sign.
Oh, wow. Do you always sign them going vertical that way? Or will I?
No, no, it depends on the composition.
No,
So
okay,
here
the
I've done like
composition.
that. Yeah.
This is
So
just amazing. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful.
thank you.
Um,
Now, now I'll put the camera in front of me. So
Okay.
just there you go.
Oh, and you have your Daniel Smith apron, I see. There you go.
That's right. Once again. Yeah, it's my Daniel Smith.
There you go. Now, is that the sun rising back there, I see?
Yeah, you can see the sunrise. And this
Oh,
is
there you go, Daniel. Oh, and it has brand ambassador. Wow. That
right.
is a fancy one now. Well, this has been amazing. What other tidbits do you want to share with us before we leave? Oh, that's just beautiful. I love that. It would be great if you could take a photo of that and text it to me or send it to me, and we can put that.
Of course. Of
Um,
course, I will do that. Of course, I
yeah.
will do that. So my
Yeah.
only submission to all of you, if you have one or two sticks, fine. If you don't have, please go and purchase one or two sticks and start playing with that. It's a good fun. You can add value to your painting. And I'm not asking you to hold like that. Don't do that. If you find, because this is much more convenient. Every time you go to the palette and you can dab the brush with a single stroke, you can easily, it will be much more convenient.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know, transparent watercolor, we do very fast because the paper dries very often.
That's
So
right.
by the time, so it will give you much more good effect, I must say.
Yeah. 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 I was surprised that as you're holding them in your hand, I didn't realize that when you add the water that it was going to get that soft as soon as it does for you to pick the pigment off of it. I just thought you'd have to scrub it and work it and everything, but
No,
yeah.
it is absolutely like you just dab the brush, put that brush into water, just
Mhm.
dab it, and the colors are there already. Look at
Yeah.
this.
Well,
I didn't rub at all.
that just goes to show how much pigment is in that stick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
there are
Well, at the trade show, at the convention, they will have some Daniel Smith watercolor sticks, I am positive. So everybody be sure you pick up one or two just to experiment with. And we've got several folks saying, thank you so much. Awesome demonstration. This has been fantastic.
Thank you.
Janine is enjoying the Indian sunset peeking in your window there.
Yeah, you can
It
see
is
that.
beautiful there. Is it that pink and orange usually? That's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. Although it's little in the night, it was little drizzling. So maybe otherwise it's like that way.
Okay, yeah, it's beautiful. But we appreciate this so much, and you've been so kind to get up this early in the morning and come join us. And we thank everybody
It's
for
it's my
tuning
pleasure.
in.
It's
Well,
my pleasure, and it was such a lovely meeting to all of you. That I'm really happy that you like it. That's
yeah,
the
oh,
most
love
good
it.
thing. Thank you, thank you,
Yes, yes.
thanks a ton.
Okay, so everyone, I look forward to seeing you all at convention. Make sure you get those tickets and tell everybody about this wonderful demo you saw and for them to try those watercolor sticks. So see y'all convention and thanks so much. We'll see y'all there.